you do not rise to the level of your goals, you will fall to the level of your systems.
What's up, guys? It's Austin with Fit Pro Tracker, and I have Tom on the line. How excited are we? Man, Tom is like a legend in the gym world. He is a leader for FBBC. He is on the CAP team, and he leads all different franchisees. And so I just very, very excited to have Tom on the line. We're going to be talking about skyrocketing your leads to member conversion. How do you get more people to sign up that are coming through your doors to become members? So we're very, very excited. Tom, you go, man. You are the man.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Austin. Humbly agree with the things that you said. Over the last 6 years, we've had a really cool journey with opening up a Fit Body Bootcamp and being in the fitness space, and just have learned so much along the way, and just had really, what we'll talk about today a lot, I think, is really systems and processes, and being able to follow that in your life when it comes to your personal life with the habits that you develop, and then transitioning that into your business so that your team can follow them. If you're part of a franchise, following along with the franchise system is really the key to success. So I think for me, the reason we've been successful is figuring out systems that are replicatable, duplicatable, easily taught to team members so that it makes sense for your team. But more important than that, it is an easy transition. It is easy onboarding for your members and your clientele, which is very important, especially in the gym space, because we're selling something that people don't necessarily want. And we have, what I always tell my team here is, we have one of the hardest jobs in the world. We're trying to get grown adults to change their habits and change these lifelong behaviors. So with that comes a lot of anxiety, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of maybe failing in the past. Usually when people reach out to us, they're at a low point. So finding ways to make that onboarding and that system as anxiety-free as possible, and really showing the path, showing them what success looks like, and showing them how easy it is to get started, and then learning how to celebrate their small wins along the way, which reinforces the behaviors that we're looking for.
Man, that's incredible. And that's something that I know there's a reason why so many people did sign up for this, was because they want to hear about that. I mean, at your gym in Richmond, I mean, it is evident that you guys are implementing these, systems and processes, and you're seeing these signups, and it really is. It's fun to see this, and it's great. I know a lot of people are excited to hear about, those different tips and tricks and advice that you have. And so, just jump right in, kind of lay it on to us, and then I'll have some questions peppered throughout. But we're all ears. We can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, sure thing. So when I opened my location 6-ish years ago, I really took it. The first thing I did was really sit down and think about all of the places that I do business with, and put myself in the seat of our avatar. At Fit Body Bootcamp, we call our avatar, or our client, Mrs. Jones. So what is Mrs. Jones going through, and what is it going to be like with her coming in the door? I know for me, when I go to a new place, and I know we're all like this, right? Whether you're buying a $5 item on Amazon, or you're going to an amusement park, or you're going to a sporting event, or you're going to something that it's your first time, we're going to Google it. We're going to look into it. Where do you park? How much does it cost? If you're going camping, right? Like, what are the best things to bring camping? If you're going to a music festival, like, do I need water? Can I bring this? Can I bring that? And so just the more that we could, my feeling was the more that I could explain that ahead of time, the more we could reduce that anxiety. So really taking it from that very first opportunity, we have a chance to talk with someone. So chances are we're running ads, or someone finds us on Google, however they get into our world. What is that first impression that we want to make, right? And then from there, how can we make it as easy as possible for them to get in the door? So things that we've put into place from the very beginning was, of course, reaching out, calling, texting, following up, right? Trying to get somebody on the phone, trying to initiate that conversation in some way to, of course, build rapport and find out why this person is looking for our help. I think sometimes especially for someone that's maybe new or not natural, quote unquote, at sales, we get it in our head sometimes that we have to like over explain and to like convince this person of what we do, why we're the best, our workouts, our this or that, our product. What I tried to do from the beginning was really reverse that, and in so become really good at gathering information. So instead of like, hey, Austin, I saw you are interested in our gym. Let me tell you all about it. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, Austin, saw you were interested in joining our program. Just curious, why are you interested in joining it? How did you find out about us? What were you searching for on Google? If I could snap my fingers and you could be at your goal weight, or most people say, why do you want to start? They say, I want to get fit. Well, if I could snap my fingers and you could be fit, what would that look and feel like to you? So asking questions to them so that you're then so much better to navigate that conversation and lead them down the path. People want to do business with people and companies that are confident in what they do. And so nobody knows how your gym is run. Nobody knows what your offer is, right? They don't know that you're supposed to do a free workout and then come for a trial and then do this. Nobody knows that. So the best thing to do is be able to lead with confidence. And the way to do that is first asking questions. How did they find out about them? Because then that's going to make them sort of, admit or show that like okay, I want to do this thing, right? So the sale kind of gets reversed and it takes the pressure off of you. Now you're just facilitating a conversation and figuring out if we can help this person. And so that's what we did from the very beginning, asking really intelligent, thought-provoking questions and not just spitting out information that might not be important to somebody. We follow a lot of really great authors and folks on sales. And one of our favorite ones is Grant Cardone. And he talks about, sell me what I want, right? He's a big real estate guy. In one of his books that we just finished reading as a team here, he talks about going to look at these houses in Miami or these condos. And this real estate agent, she's banging on these windows, these hurricane windows. He said, like, she wouldn't shut up about these windows. I got these hurricane. He doesn't care about hurricane windows. He cares about a view. Like he said, show me the view. I don't even care about the kitchen. I don't care about the bathroom. I want to know the view. So with a few questions of like, hey, what's important to you in a house? What are you looking for? And I say, I really love a great view. That's what I'm going to go to first to show you, and then figure out what's important to you. So remember, sales is it's never been about you, and it will never be about you. It's about the other person on the phone. And then that just saves you so much time. What if Austin's number one priority was, hey, I need a gym that's close to my house and has workouts at 5:15 a.m. And I'm on the phone. Hey, Austin, really want to know what's the most important thing to you in a fitness program? What do you look for? Hey, man, I'm a really busy guy. I live a mile away from your gym. So location is really important. And I can only work out at 5 o'clock in the morning. Cool. Well, we're right down the street. You can walk here, you can bike here, you can walk here, you can drive here. And we have a 5:15 session. Perfect. I'll book you for tomorrow morning. Bye. Instead of, we do 30-minute workouts and your nutrition, your goals, and this and that. Just get to the point. And I feel like in an age of Amazon Prime and the instant, things being so much faster. Yes, the old school way of doing sales is important for some people, like building rapport. That's all important. But the faster we can get somebody to make a decision, actually, the better they're going to feel about it. And the better it's going to be for you to get them in the door. So that's kind of the upfront of getting on the phone, asking questions, finding out what's the most important thing to them, and then just run with that. The other stuff will get answered down the road. And of course, we've probably all had folks that maybe they ask a lot of questions and they don't really know what they're asking. They don't know what to ask. So if we put it on to them and be like, and they're not sure, then it's important to hop in and take over the conversation with, well, what I'm hearing you say is, and then figure out what's really important to them. And then from there, I think the most important thing after that is we get you booked for your workout, or you get your information, you're going to come in the door. Then from there, it's all about that buyer's window, right? That buyer's remorse window of, did I make the right decision? Because chances are you're running ads on Facebook, and no matter how many you go to our Facebook page, we have nothing but 5-star reviews on Google, on Facebook, tons of them. We still have people that just don't believe it, right? So they're still a little bit skeptical, especially when it comes to fitness and your results. And you can tell somebody all you want, but They have to see it themselves. So then what we do is text messages and follow-ups leading up to their first workout or their first time coming in the door. So what we do is we have a video that I made of me up front, a welcome video. Welcome to Fit Body Bootcamp. Here's what you're going to do when you come in the door. You're going to change your shoes over here. Here's where you sit down. Here's the workout floor. Not going into too much detail about the workout, but just so they literally see it. Because there's nothing worse than walking into a place and like if you don't know what to do and you're like already anxious because it's a fitness thing, but just even walking into a restaurant, right? Like if you walked in and you don't know that it's, do I order at the counter? Do I seat myself? Like you don't want those feelings. You want like a cool, calm, confident feeling. So the more they can see that and you can direct them on what to do and they know. So when they walk in the door, they're already confident, right? Nothing worse than walking in kind of looking around, not sure what to do. So a video is a great way to do that. Then they get to see you, hear you, see the place, understand what you do there. Sending texts with your Facebook page or your Google reviews. Hey, that was a great chat. Can't wait to meet you. Just in case you didn't believe me, I want you to check out our reviews, right? Some people are skeptical, so you can read our reviews, or even doing a video of you in your car, literally like driving up to your location for directions, right? So it was always like a video of me welcoming them, a video of driving up to the location, and a map of how to get here. Like that stuff seems so simple. And most people will probably Google you anyway, but if you can provide that and be ahead of that, especially with your reviews, if you can put that out there and save them the time because they're probably going to do it anyway, it just is really leading with that confidence. And then from there, of course, it's all about hopefully having an awesome experience for their first workout where the sales, it's just so natural and so easy. And that's what we've worked really hard on is instead of focusing so much on sales and closing people, focus on having an awesome experience, and then it tends to all take care of itself. But that, of course, comes down to leadership and training your team.
Love it. Love it. And that's a great, step-by-step process of getting them leads coming in and then making sure that they feel welcomed, not just selling them, but also at the same time, letting them have a great experience. Because like you said, it will be that experience that ultimately that they're going to want to sign up for is that experience. So I love it. I love it. I love it. So Tom, now kind of shifting over into the lead side. So when these leads are flowing in, you kind of explain that process, but in getting on the call. So you said you get on the call immediately. Is there a reason that you get on the call immediately when a lead comes flowing into your system or your Google Sheets or just a referral?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, time is of the essence. Think about, just think about your own experience, right? When you are, most of us do a lot of online shopping, right? When you're online shopping, first of all, chances are, if you're like me, you go on, you come off, you put it in your cart, you don't buy it. You go back, you look for a coupon, you keep, right? And what the smart ones, what they do in the meantime is they already captured your email or whatever, and it sends you an email, hey, do you still want this item sitting in your cart? So think about that, even though we're not an online service like that, speed is of the essence. And also, if I'm looking at one pair of shoes from Adidas, I'm probably looking at Nike. If I'm looking at workout shoes, right, I'm looking at all the different brands. And so in my mind, if someone's looking at us, they're looking into every other gym in my city. And I know, truthfully, 100% without a shadow of a doubt, if they join anywhere else, we are doing them a disservice. I have the absolute hands down best fitness program on the planet, but specifically here in my city. So yeah, it's like our duty and our obligation. It is inappropriate. It is immoral for us not to reach out and to help them because they're raising their hand and saying, hey, that looks pretty cool. And then it's our job to answer their questions and make them feel super comfortable. So yes, time is of the essence. And I think a phone call is best. So some systems you can use, what we always find to help is usually someone's not going to answer the phone on the first time. They don't know who's calling. So don't leave a voicemail. Immediately call again. If they don't answer the second time, follow up with a text. Hey, that was Tom from Fit Body Bootcamp calling. Do you have 5 minutes for a quick chat? And now if they prefer to text, that's cool. But we're always going to try to get them on the phone. Just text is fine. But it's just different, right? We want to hear their voice. They want to hear our voice, and to just get them on the phone and answer their questions. And then going into a little bit more on the sales side, we always get a lot of questions. So as Austin mentioned, I'm also a coach for Fit Body Bootcamp. So I coach other owners all across our brand, which is super cool. And even with my local team here, I feel like sales is always, I mean, we all know this to be true, that like we were given beliefs by our parents and by society about sales and stuff like that. And so I've just found it best over trying every trick in the book when it comes to offering someone your service, is to just be honest and be open and to tell them from the gate. It's going to save you so much time and headache over time. And so a question we get, or that used to come up a lot in the fitness industry, is like, what if somebody asks for the price on the phone? And the old adage and information that I received was like, don't tell them the price on the phone, because you want to be like, well, hey, if you were sick and you called the doctor, they would need to see you first, right? Or if you heard a sound in your car and you called the shop, they couldn't just give you a price over the phone. Okay, that is just not true. That is just BS. Do not do that. Do not start your relationship with someone on what is truly a lie. You know what your prices are, and even if it's a range. So what we found to work the absolute best, if you have options for your program, which we recommend you have at least 2 options for your program, don't just have one. If you only have one, then someone can say yes or no. If you have 2, then it's this one or that one, right? You have an implied sale there. So on the phone, hey, so I just want to know how much your program costs. And this is after, of course, you've answered their, like if someone starts with, hey, all I want to know is how much your program costs, we could say something like, hey, no worries, I'd love to share that with you. I'm just curious, are you interested in the cheapest program or one with guaranteed results? Or are you interested in a really cheap program or one that you're going to stick with for a long time? So there's workarounds on that. But when it gets to the point, let's say it's a normal conversation. Okay, great. That all sounds great, Tom, but how much does it cost? Well, we have a couple of options in our program. Our highest price program is X amount of dollars per week or per month. But what most people do is they go with this other option, which is X amount of dollars a week or month. And that way it's out there. You want to have a range. So then they're thinking, okay, well, obviously the higher price one is going to include nutrition or other, small group personal training or whatever you offer, or maybe more sessions. But what most people do is this one. So you want to have at least 2 options. You want most of people in your core offering, because that should be profitable for you. It should be the most realistic for people to do, but you always want a higher tiered thing, because I promise you, 20% of people are always going to want to spend more money with you. They have the money to spend. They want the higher tiered service. They want the guaranteed result. They want the nutrition or whatever those other things offer. So again, I can't stress this enough. This took me so long to learn. Don't let your own money thoughts get in the way. There are people that of all different backgrounds that spend money on all kinds of different things. And so make sure you have that option for them.
Love it. Love it. No, that's a great advice. It's funny that you said relationship. You get into a relationship. It really is. We're in the people business, right? We're here to help these people. And so building that relationship, especially when I was running my gym, it was all about that relationship that you build with them. Because if you have a healthy community, if you have a healthy group of people that love what you're doing, then they bring on the referrals. They start telling their friends and family. So huge point on that. Love it. Next question real quick is going to be, with these touch points. So you said you call, you send text, you send videos. Now, let's say you get on the phone and they don't answer, what would you say to the average gym owner? Continue to keep following up with them, or just cut them off?
Yeah, continue to follow up with them. Again, just think about all the things that you dip your toe in and think about buying, and then you don't. Like, what would push you over the edge to make the decision? Your pain level has to be high enough, but a couple of things have to happen. Your pain has to be high enough for you to say yes, right? You can't talk yourself out of it, and it just has to be the right time for folks. So an easy system to follow that we followed for a long time, we called it the 5x2. That means for 5 days, you're going to reach out twice a day. So 5x2, 5 days, twice a day. You could go on for longer than that. We just would go with 5. And then after the 5 days is over, those are like organic twice a day reach outs. And it could be text, phone call, text, Facebook message, email, whatever works best for you. And then after those 5 days, very important, we don't let that lead just go away. We then can put them on what we call a drip campaign, which continues to follow up with them, which is a little bit more automated. And then making sure that they're still on our email list. So, because you should be emailing your list at least 3 or 4 times per week with information and offers to come in the door. So that way that lead doesn't just go away, and you do your due diligence and your duty. Get the question, or I've gotten the question in the past of, actually literally just had this happen last week, which I'll share in a second, of, yeah, but what if I'm like calling them twice a day and they're like, just leave me alone? That's great. Okay. Because if you get them on the phone and like, why are you calling me so much? My gosh. Well, Austin, all I'm trying to do is offer you a free workout to come in and try out our gym because you said you want to help. Imagine how much we're going to coach you when you're a member here. Right. So coming from a place of like, we're caring, we're not telemarketers. We're not, we're not just bugging you. And actually that literally happened here last week. I had a woman come in, she walked in the door. And so I was talking to her, and she seemed like she knew about our program. She was asking questions that she had answers to. I was like, have you chatted with anyone from here? She goes, yeah, actually I chatted with Jasmine, who's my person who does our phone sales for us. She said, actually tell Jasmine, I'm really sorry. I told her that it was, what did she say? I don't know, unrealistic, or, it was too much that she was calling. I said, yeah, but now look, you're here. And it worked. And this was literally months. She was been in our FitPro tracker for months and finally came in the door. So you never know when the time is going to be right. We just got to make sure that we're continuing to let them know we're here. This is what we have going on. We would love to help you. When you're ready, we're here for you. And then also, after you've been around for a long time, one of the best, absolute best, going back to relationships, thing that can happen is when someone quits your gym. That's not the best thing that happen. When they come back, because you made it so easy, so cool, no problem, easy cancellation process. Like for us, we do a 30-day cancellation, no cancellation fees, come back when you're ready. And that has been awesome for us.
Oh yeah, no, that is a great point of making it easy for them to leave so that they want to come back.
Sure.
Oh, great. Awesome. You leave on good terms and you're more likely for them to come back, whether it's because of money issues, moving, whatnot. There's always a whole array. Wow, that's great. KPI metrics. I mean, really, Tom, I think there's some people, and I mean, I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands of gyms throughout the years, and it kind of blows me away by their KPI and metrics that they're not following. Like they don't have anything. They're like, I would ask them, hey, so what's your plan? Like, what are you going to be doing? As I'm trying to help them set up their FitPro tracker. And they're like, well, we don't really keep track of anything. So Tom, what's your thoughts on KPIs, metrics? What would you suggest would be a good base to start with for their KPI metrics?
So I have an awesome quote to tell you first from James Clear, wrote a book called Atomic Habits. It's amazing. Okay. And the quote goes like this: you do not rise to the level of your goals. You will fall to the level of your systems. Okay. The reason this is so strong and so important is all of us are like, well, I want to have 100 members, or I want to bring in X amount. That's all pie in the sky. Awesome stuff to have those goals, but you're always going to fall to the level of your systems. So how strong is your follow-up system? Right? That 5x2. And so think about that first. Like, do you have the system in place to get you where you want to go? When we talk about weight loss, because we're in the gym industry, someone says they want to lose 20 pounds. That's great, but they're only going to be as successful as their habits and their systems, right? Are they doing the things that a person who is losing 20 pounds is doing, right? Are they coming to workouts? So think about that in your business. And there's only so many hours of the day, which is why it's really important to have a team and to have KPIs, metrics, and systems in your business. So for us, our number one KPI when it comes to our gym growth is 5 memberships a week. So when you can start with that, I don't care how much I need to spend on leads. I don't care how many leads we get. I don't care as much about conversion. Now, is there something to look at? Sure, but you don't want to get yourself in this situation where you're like, well, we're getting 100 leads, but we're only converting 5 of them. I mean, that shows you maybe something to look at, or what's our offer like? Are our phone sales not strong enough? What's our follow-up like? That all can help. But if you just look at, hey, are we getting 5 a week? And then when that slips, then go back and look at those things. Are we getting enough leads? Are we getting enough things? Listen, lead cost is higher than ever. It's not going to go down. And so I would just look with the goal in mind. And because sometimes folks, how much should I spend on advertising? Well, what do you need to spend to get to your goal? So for us, 5 a week is good with our attrition. That allows us to grow at a good rate. It's not too many people coming in the way we run our program, so that everyone can still get good attention. So that is our KPI for our membership starts per week. And then you're able to look at that from we run a system called EOS. So we'll talk about systems now. EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System. If you don't know about it, this will save your business and help you figure out so much. If you're not part of a franchise, this will kind of franchise your location, help you follow these systems. It's great for your team. So with EOS, you live in a 90-day world. It means every quarter you're resetting your goals and you're looking at what you want to accomplish. And then in a quarter, it's 13 weeks. So for us, 5 membership starts per week equals 65 members starting in a quarter. So now when we're looking over the quarter, it's like, okay, well, we had 4 last week, so we need 6 this. So you can always look to say, are we on track to hit 65 or off track? And that's a great way to keep it's like a macro look and a micro look at the same time. Like you can, okay, are we trending in the right direction? What adjustments do we need to make? And then over time, looking at your budget, looking at those bigger numbers over a quarter. I like a quarter. A month is, in my opinion, is just short. 4 weeks goes by so fast. When you can look at it at a quarter, it allows you to make bigger decisions and better decisions for a longer term. And so that's what our KPI is for our memberships at Fit Body Bootcamp or at my location. And then for, when it comes to how much we spend on advertising and all that, we adjust that based on if we're hitting our metric or not, or then we can identify where we think we need to focus.
It's funny you say EOS. I am a firm believer. I 100% with you, Tom. It's just EOS is something that if you're not with a franchise, it's something that just helps keep that structure. So 100% with you. Well, perfect. Okay, that kind of goes over the metrics, EOS. You kind of touched on this next question in regards to, setting the experience. So a new lead comes into the door, setting that experience. What else can you do to set an experience where they're like, I want to sign up. This is something I want to be a part of.
Love it. So number one, just assume. I mean, we sat through this. We went to this mastermind a couple months ago, and a guy came in from this group that was all about customer service, customer retention. The founder of the company, he wrote a book, The Relationship Economy. Super good book. And so what we learned there and what we know to be true is everybody is having terrible experiences with service. Okay. You're probably experiencing it, through COVID and then the labor shortage, the great resignation, all that stuff. Like I know I wanted to believe it wasn't going to affect me in my location, and it did. And so just number one, just assume everyone's having a horrible experience. Now, we could look at that as like, man, service sucks everywhere. And what should we do? Look at it as a positive. All you need to do, one of our core values here is to exceed expectations. So fortunately for you, all you need to do to exceed expectations is like smile, look somebody in the eye, and know their name, right? Like now you want to do more than that if you can, but again, just making this like where else are they getting a really good experience, right? We used to get a good one at Starbucks. You don't really get it there anymore because it's gotten kind of watered down. Like how can you wow people? And we know that everybody's favorite word in the English language is their own name. So names are huge for us. Hopefully you have some sort of system, like we use FitPro Tracker. So we have our iPad up front with our kiosk on there with everybody's name. So that helps us learn their names, and also having, again, systems. So what we do is when we have somebody that's new coming in for their first workout, Jasmine, who I have to give a shout out to Gym Reinforcements. If you guys don't know about Gym Reinforcements, they will completely help you in your gym. They have a sales and lead follow-up and administrative folks that work for you. Dustin Bogle is an amazing human being that put this company together and helps gyms out. So we have Jasmine working with us. She does all of my lead follow-up. And so she will follow up with folks, get them booked for the workout, and then she lets us know in our daily update email. So then that goes up front on our daily note sheet, again, systems. So the team already knows that Austin's coming in for the 8:15 a.m. session, and we know he should get here at 8 o'clock, 15 minutes early, because that's what our text ahead of time and our video says, and they'll be ready to rock. So now when Austin walks in the door, even if he didn't watch the video, sometimes they don't, but we put it out there, he might still look a little confused. And I'm like, Austin, what's up, man? Hey, dude, welcome for your first workout. Jasmine told me so much about you. I heard that because another thing that we do, another system you can use is called Ford. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. FORD. Okay, like the car. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Can you get 1, 2, 3, or 4 of those things in the phone conversation and learn about them? So now when Austin walks in the door, Austin, dude, heard you just had a son, which he did. I have a 3.5-year-old, man. You are in for so much fun over the next couple of years. But let's get you in. Let's switch your shoes and get you in. So those little things, right? Those little it is a relationship. We're in the relationship and the people business. So learning names, learning about people. Because again, where in their life are they connecting with a business in this way? They're not. Even at work, like, are they sharing the people they spend the most time with usually are people at work. Do people at work care about them? Do they really value them? Do they listen to them? Do they know they just had a kid? Do they know that they struggle with this thing outside of work? Do they know where they went to high school? So when we know those things, that's what makes all the difference. And then you can go on and on with that, with being friends with them on Facebook and seeing what they did once they're members with you. Oh, I saw you were in Colorado for the weekend. That's awesome. I'd love to go there sometime. Tell me where you stay. And what that does, again, just building that relationship, right? And a great quote you want to think about for your gym and your culture is that people quit gyms, okay? People quit memberships. People quit services. People quit things. People don't quit friends, and they don't quit relationships. I mean, they do, but like, just think about that. They're not your members. You have a relationship with them. And so when you're when you're a people person, like we are in the gym world, it becomes pretty natural. And then all of that flows into what we're talking about with leads and sales, right? If we just lead with a great relationship, the sale it's part of the deal, because we're leading with caring for people and learning about them and knowing their names and having a genuine interest in who they are.
Love it. I mean, you're hitting it right on. This is good stuff. Hopefully everyone that's on, you guys are taking notes, because it is spot on. You can tell the gyms, the studios that are using this with the relational, the being able to know their name and whatnot. So this is Tom, you just knocking it out of the park, man. This is a lot of information. I got a couple more questions and then we'll be done.
Sure.
You mentioned some different systems. So gym reinforcements, Ford, EOS, Fit Pro Tracker. Can you just kind of quickly just kind of go through the different systems that you would recommend for a gym or studio to use, kind of a little description about them and why you use them?
I'd love to, because I just thank my lucky stars that when I opened the doors and we didn't have these systems in place, I still had. It's funny. I'll tell you 2 quick things. Number one, before I ever found out about Fit Body Bootcamp, in my mind, when I thought I wanted to open a gym, I'm like, I know I want to train groups of people. I want to offer them nutrition, but more than that, I want to offer them like mindset and accountability and like building this lifestyle. Because I had gone to the gym for years and saw so many people there. I go every day. Nobody's body ever changed. Mine did. Why? Because like it's about those extra stuff. It's not the workouts. It's not the nutrition. And so when I found Fit Body, I'm like, dude, that's exactly what I want to do. And then the same thing is true for these next 2 things I'll tell you about, which is Fit Pro Tracker and gym reinforcements. So when I opened my doors, we were using another system that was really just a billing system. So I had to figure out all these other ways to do the text message when they walked in the door, and going through Google Voice and Scipio and all these other systems that we used. So the good news for me was like in my mind already, I'm like, man, if we could just have a system that did all of these things, and then lo and behold, FitPro Tracker came along and solved all of those problems. So FitPro Tracker is, I mean, though one of the main reasons we're able to have our systems and have the success that we have. So it's like, where do you start? I mean, it does everything for you. So let's just think about like lead flow and client management, right? So back in the day, you had Facebook lead ads or maybe a click funnel. Where do you actually get those leads? You got to go into that system and get those leads and find them and follow up with them and all that. Now with FitPro Tracker, you integrate into FitPro Tracker. They pop right in there. You get an email. You can call them right away. And so integrating with Facebook lead ads and click funnels and the referral management system is amazing to just pull the people right in there. And then let's talk about lead management, actually following up with them. Well, now they're in one system where you can text, email, call, and everything, all their communication histories is right there for you. So you know exactly what's going on. There's a place at the top where you can put notes, so you can put their forward information. And then from there, the big thing is setting tasks. So you can set a task like, hey, listen, you're gonna fall to the level of your system. So if you have a great system like FitPro Tracker, where Austin says, hey man, gym sounds great. I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. I'll be interested at the beginning of October. Okay, cool. I'm going to follow up with you at the beginning of October. Then in there, you put a task, call Austin, 1st of October. He was going to the Bahamas, ask him about his son. Boom. Then it's right there for you and automates that for you and pops up for you. Then from there, we can have campaigns. So with campaigns, we can have a mixture of text going out, emails going out, or tasks being sent in any combination of those things. So for example, we have a year-long campaign for our members. So at the beginning of the year, we put all of our members on a campaign where at the beginning of each month, it sends them an email. Hey, just checking in on your word of the year, which is something we said at the beginning of the year. So there's just so much that it can do to save you so much time, energy, and effort. And it really is the best of both worlds with automations, but then that personal touch. Like I'll look at mine right now while we're on this call. We currently have 30 text messages from today that have already come into the gym. And I'm not assigned to anybody in my location, but I love reading through these, right? Like Denise, okay, I will be okay, still battling some mental demons, but we'll get there. Thanks for asking and checking, just closing off a little bit of work and working through it. So I'm able to see what's going on. Obviously, that's something serious that our coaches are really able to communicate with people. So text, email, phone calls, follow-ups, integrations, checkout pages, so you can sell people things, waivers, membership agreements. I mean, it's amazing. So FitPro Tracker is just a game changer, and it's amazing how much it does and how much more is coming with it. And we really just scratched the surface with what's capable. And it's just an awesome software, because back in the day, you had spreadsheets, you had ClickFunnels, you had all these different systems. It was super costly and just such a waste of time. This is such a time saver. And we love FitPro Tracker, which is why I'm honored to help you guys out and do this webinar and coach your other followers here today. And then, so that was like literally FitPro Tracker is like, I was on the franchise advisory council for Fit Body Bootcamp for many years. And we talked about like, can we make a system like this? And here it is. So beautiful. And then the other thing was, finding somebody to do your lead follow-up and your sales, right? Hard to do inside of your location. It just is. I mean, it just is. You have so much going on in your gym during the day, and we tend to want to oversimplify the amount of time it's going to take to follow up with leads and do sales, and also want that person to do all sort of other administrative stuff. Or what's worse is we have a coach who's a coach, but we're like, oh, and can you also do sales? Typically, those personality traits they might not mend, which is the next thing I'll talk about when we talk about 2 more systems to use in your gym that have been game changers for us. So, well, we tried all sorts of different iterations over the years. I've done it. We've hired folks that worked in the studio that were our admin or our client coordinator. We just never found that there was enough time in the day for someone to do it. Then your other option is to hire a remote salesperson. Well, what happens there is you have to train that person. You have to hold that person accountable to another team member. Maybe they're not in your location. And to me, that just sounded difficult to do if they're virtual. So what our friend Dustin Bogle, awesome human being, did was started a company called Gym Reinforcements, where he takes all this off of your plate for you. They are his team members. He trains them. He's been running gyms for a long time. The guy knows what he's doing. Trains them on lead follow-up with scripts, getting them on the phone, doing everything for you. And you're not completely hands-off. You're going to teach them your system, but then they're going to run with it. And the beauty of it is, I hope my gal Jasmine never goes away, but if she would leave Gym Reinforcements, Dustin would get me somebody else. I don't have to recruit, hire, and do all that much training on sales because he takes care of all of that. So just an amazing company. And they also do all of your admin tasks for you as well. So Jasmine enters all of our memberships in FitPro Tracker. She sends out thank you cards. She processes cancellations. She does so much. And the beauty is because they're remote, they can focus all their time and energy on it and not get distracted. And they can work better hours than someone that would be in your gym. So she can work later into the evening when more people are available. So that's the second one. So FitPro Tracker and Gym Reinforcements, game changers in my business. And then the other two, we'll talk about more of literally, not so much sales and things, but man, teamwork. Okay. Getting a smooth running operation. Because listen, as gym owners, as business owners, I'm assuming you're like me. You got into this like, dude, I can run an awesome workout. I like getting people into shape. And then you're like, oh man, lease negotiations. Oh man, payroll, HR, freaking, organizational charts, giving people rate, like all of the other stuff. And for most of us, which I'll talk about next, we're parrots. We don't love those things. So, EOS, holy smokes, guys. Like, I can't stress this enough. When you implement these tools that are so simple and make so much sense and make it so clear for you and your team, absolute game changer for setting real goals and getting real about your business. It's a book called What the Heck is EOS? And then they have lots of tools. It's free to use, to learn. Buy the book and it's game changer. And then what we've learned in our business is when your whole team can read the books as well and get on board, it just makes it so much easier. So EOS for sure. And then I'll give you an extra little bonus here. What we always do here as a team, we're always reading a book together. We're reading a book together. And then part of EOS, we have our weekly meeting. And in that meeting, we go around the room and we talk about the chapters that we read and what everybody's biggest takeaway has been. That's been huge for us. Not only with What the Heck is EOS, but literally we just got finished reading 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone, Outwitting the Devil, all kinds of stuff where you want to get this information. Maybe you've been working on your leadership, but maybe you're not the best at communicating it, or you try, but it's always going to come when it comes from that outside voice. It's like being a parent. When they hear it from their friends or someone else, it sticks. When they hear it from you, it's blah, 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 right? So reading books together is a good one. So FitPro Tracker, Gym Reinforcements, EOS. And the last one I want to tell you about is, I know I'm saying all these things are like the best thing that ever happened, but these are really the top 4. This last one, it's called Taking Flight with DISC. Okay. If you don't know what DISC is, it is a personality profile. Maybe you've heard of it. These guys changed the freaking game when it comes to this. Okay. So it's this really cool personality assessments, 30 some questions. And what they do is they then tell you what kind of bird you are. It might sound silly, but it's awesome. So you have an eagle, a parrot, a dove, and an owl, and it all makes perfect sense. And there's a page in this book that you will get when you do your personality test. When you read this page, you're like, how do they know exactly who I am and everything about me from answering 30 questions? What we do in our location is every time we have a new team member start, they take the assessment. And then in that team meeting, each week, we go through and we review someone else's book and then go around and share what we've learned. It's just awesome. Talk about teamwork and communication. The cool thing about the personality test or the personalities is we know the golden rule, and they say this in Take Flight, is the golden rule is treat everybody how you want to be treated, but that's actually not true. Once you do these and you understand people, it's treat others how they want to be treated, because you understand their strengths, their weaknesses, what makes them tick, and also makes you realize that everybody is different. And then it really, really, really helps you with sales, because when you can then start to identify from talking to people that are new in your gym, if they're an eagle, a parrot, a dove, or an owl, you know what's important to them and how to guide that conversation a little bit better. So it helps with your sales as well. So those are the 4 things: FitPro Tracker, gym reinforcements, EOS, and taking flight with disc.
Man, that was great. And I'm hopefully everybody that's on this call is taking notes. And don't forget, I will be sending this video out. So if you guys have more questions, definitely reach out, and I can reach out to Tom. So we'll open it up. I mean, we've been going, and this has been unbelievable information, Tom. I mean it. Like, I've been taking notes. So real quick, just if anybody on the line has any questions, please, we're open for you guys asking your questions. Tom, you've done an unbelievable job explaining, the processes, what you've seen that's worked, that hasn't worked, but more importantly, like what's happening, in the future, but how are you building your team up? Because like you said, it's all about systems and processes. I know David had a question. David, do you want to ask it, or I can ask it for you?
Well, one question I had was, are you using GM reinforcements for sales?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir. Yep. So yeah, let me know what questions you have about that. And I've talked to a lot of folks about that had a little bit of trepidation about doing it. So please let me know what questions you have there.
Well, maybe specifically. So when someone comes in, are they trying to sell them on whatever your low barrier offer is, or how is that?
Awesome, David. Yeah. So let me actually take a step back to that original phone conversation that my girl Jasmine is doing, but you can do if you're doing in your locations, when we talked about if they're asking about price and things like this. Another really, 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 really important thing to do on the phone, whether or not price comes up, is at some point to say, once you find out about the person, awesome, David, that all sounds great. Hey, is it okay? Very important. Is it okay if I tell you how our program works? And of course, you're going to say yes. And that's where you want to tell them about how your program works. So for us, we start everybody with a 12-week program. We have 2 options. One includes nutrition, one doesn't. One has guaranteed results, one doesn't, blah, blah, blah. And that's where you say, it's this price and this price. Most people go with this. So that way, when they come in the door, that conversation already happened. And so then when you're closing them in person, it's like, hey, David, awesome. So you had a chance to chat with Jasmine about how our program works? Yes. What options do you want to go with? And it makes it really easy. Now, back to your question. It's a combination. So Jasmine talks to 95% of our leads and our people, right? She completely owns that. We don't do any reach outs. So her job, excuse me, getting over COVID, is for her to do that, explain the program on the phone. She tries to close them. If she doesn't, that's fine. She gets them in the door, and then we take it to the finish line here with the actual membership agreement when they're in person, just like I just explained, after their first workout. But yeah, she probably closes about 40% of people over the phone, and the rest come in for a workout, which is totally fine because that's the way we've always done our program. And then back to your LBO, we've gotten away from low barrier offers. We prefer to have a high ticket offer, meaning, we want people to start in our program as it was designed, and we've moved away from trials and from low barrier offers.
Good, because that's what I want to do. That's where.
Yes, sir. Do it. So let me just give you some tips on that, if that's okay. So we used to run a 28-day program for a very long time, and it was at a lower price, usually less than $100. The first thing we did was we moved it up to, I want to say we moved it to $99. So it was like $19 down and then $20 a week. And then what we did was, we were still running. We're like, well, let's take it up to our full membership price. Our membership price is $39 a week. So then we were selling it at $39 a week for the 4 weeks, which is the same price as our membership. And then from there, we're like, we've just realized it was like a test, but we were sort of wasting time, because at that point we had to basically sell them 3 times. Sell them to come in the door for a free trial or whatever, then sell them on the low barrier offer, then sell them on a membership. And all those required, some sort of meeting or sit down or a nutrition consult or something. So we just scrapped all of that. Jasmine gets them on the phone. She can close them. If not, they come in for a free. We always still do like a free week. They can try us out, and they'll start the following Monday. But now we just put them right into a 12-week membership, and we've had zero change except saving us a ton of time. So now we have 1 meeting with them after they sign up where we do their nutrition meeting with them. So that's been game changer for us and such a good time saver. And I promise you, when you do the things I talked about, which is leading with conviction and confidence and leading them the path and saying, is it okay if I tell you how our program works? People are going to sign up. The only thing it's going to do, which is a benefit, is any tire kickers or people that aren't going to be a good fit for your program, it will weed them out, which in the long run, when you gave them the LBO and then they didn't sign up anyway, was a waste of time.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
One other question on that. You say you have two different options. One's a guaranteed, the other's not. Where are you pricing that? So what's the difference in the price between the guaranteed and the not guaranteed?
Oh, it's about $100 per month. It's $20 more per week.
Okay.
Yeah, we do all weekly pricing. But you know, there's lots of books on that. If you haven't read $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi, I would definitely read that immediately. Boom, my man, right? So put that stuff to use. That's what we're basing this new offer off of, and it's working fantastic. And you're going to start seeing, I don't know if you've already seen, you're going to start seeing that in a lot of places. I'm seeing all kinds of ads on Facebook where now there's these guarantees tied in, which is super cool because it works, because then you're allowed to charge more money because you're putting it on that guarantee. And it just makes sense, right? He talks all about pricing in there as well, whether you want that higher ticket option, because people are always willing to pay. I just shared something with my team last week. I saw a thing on Instagram, Pay Less Shoes. If you remember Pay Less Shoes, they had a thing, it was on the news. They opened up, I don't know how long ago this was, I saw it. They opened up a fake store in Los Angeles. Like, it looked really nice. And they had Pay Less Shoes on these shelves. And they had all these fashion influencers, invite them on. They're interviewing them. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are beautiful. Look at the leather on this. Oh, I would pay $400. Oh, I could see this wearing this in the spring. And with it, and then they told them, yeah, they're Pay Less Shoes. They're freaking $40 shoes. So just the package, right? Always keep that in mind. It's like, how are we presenting things, and not just competing on price, because we'll never win that way.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Great question, David. And just real quick, yes, that ClickFunnels feature, by the way, they did roll it out. So it really is built around gym owners and how they're able to, how they're using ClickFunnels. So I would love to show it to you whenever you get a time, David, if you want to see that.
I would love to schedule a time to do that. So I'll reach out to you.
Awesome. After this call, I'll definitely send you an email, because it's awesome. We're like Tom said, just trying to do everything in one place to be able to have it in one place, and you're not having multiple systems. So again, but real quick, anyone else wants to hop on, ask any questions? Perfect. Hey, we greatly appreciate you guys that are on the call. The people that aren't on the call, we're sending it out as well. If you're on the call, definitely we'll be sending you the recording. Tom, as always, man, you're incredible. I'm telling you, we're just so glad that you were able to hop on this call and just kind of spread your knowledge. You know, there's a reason why you're on the advisory team with FBBC. There's a reason why you're coaching so many different people, because you're just ultra successful when it comes to growing your gyms. And just really do appreciate you, Tom. And if you have anything else, definitely share it. But we are just super thankful for it.
I want to leave you guys with one thing, because I've sat in a lot of conferences, masterminds, webinars, and sometimes when you get someone like me or someone on the call where you're like, sometimes we will diminish ourselves and think, wow, this person knows so much, right? And I don't, right? I figured out over time, and every person that you look up to has been through a lot of struggles, but in that struggle, they found a way, right? And so I just want to share with everyone, and I always like to share this when I do my talks at our World Conference and stuff, is the definition of success, right? Because if we try to define success, or we compare ourselves to others, it's just not going to be fun for anybody, because number one, comparison is the thief of joy. So you got to figure out what you want out of your business, what you really want out of your life. So don't compare yourself to others. Learn from others, but don't compare yourself. You're not better or worse than anyone else. You are you. You are enough. You are worthy. And then the second thing is a great definition of success by John Maxwell. John Maxwell says that success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. So in that, as long as you have a goal and you're working towards it, you are successful. Because we all know when you reach the goal, it's not over. You don't feel successful then. The real success lies in the habits that you built along the way and the things that you learned along the way. So don't compare yourself to others, especially in this gym space. It's so easy to do. He does 7 figures. Who cares? What do you do? Are you helping people? Are you fulfilled inside? And then remember, you are successful as long as you're setting good, healthy goals and you're working towards them.
Man, I love it. I love it. Great stuff, Tom. Thank you for that. And again, Tom, appreciate you with Fit Pro Tracker. And we've heard Tom speak about it earlier. If you have any questions, remember, Fit Pro Tracker was designed by gym owners for gym owners. We understand the struggle that you're going through. And down below, underneath, I'm going to send out an email. There'll be a link. If you want to schedule a demo, we're here for you. It's all about customer service. It's all about this relationship. We want to help you build your gym, your studio to be the best that it can be. And we're here and we'll come alongside you and help you every step of the way. So again, please, thank you, Tom. Appreciate you. Everybody else that was on the call, thank you. If you're watching this at home, don't forget, schedule a demo down below. I'll be there to help you every step of the way. And you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.